Raider Nation, do we have an offensive line battle? Do we have one of the better offensive lines in the league? Well, let's talk about it on today's show.
I bleed silver and black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a Raider for life. 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 I'm a Raider for life.
Touchdown! Raiders! What the hell is going on, Raider Nation? Let's close out my training camp battles offensive edition with the O-line. We did wide receivers, quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs, and now we get to the big boys on the field. And I'll be honest with you, you might have watched my running back video, and in order for the running backs to be as good as I possibly think they will be, it'll be because of these motherfuckers right here. Do we got some contract issues ahead? Do we have a holdout, a standout this season? Let's talk about it and more on today's Raider Football Talk. That's right, each and every day until training camp starts, you're going to have a new video of a camp battle from me. And we're closing out the offensive edition right here, today, right now. We're going to talk about Kolton Miller. We're going to give a final offensive starting lineup prediction at the end of this video. And we're going to talk a little bit about fantasy football if you want to play versus me and earn some Raider swag that's been from my personal collection. And I'll autograph it since I'm a fucking superstar. But first I got to sell some shit. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of the channel for early and exclusive content. And some of you guys are getting these videos 1 or 2 or 3 days ahead of time before they're released publicly. So that being said, if you feel like becoming a member, supporting your boy so I could buy some tacos, pay some rent to create and eat more tacos, I'd appreciate it. I got Venmo, PayPal, Cash App available, QR codes on screen. I also have a merchandise store. There is a couple of Raider Mondays with Mikey and Murph t-shirts in there, which will be returning, at least with an episode very, very soon. But please support your boy. If you feel like it, I'd appreciate it. Get to know me. Say hello on Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. And now we're friends for life, and we're in contact. All right, let's start talking about the offensive line. Well, we got a lot of veterans. Or do we? Let's take an overall look at our offensive line and talk about it and some of the problems and what camp competition we might be having in this league. Let's start with the tackle position. It doesn't separate left from right, but we got Dalton Wagner at the tackle position. We got Thayer Mumford Jr. at the tackle position, and I'm hoping they're all versatile, whether they could play left or right. A lot of players in the NFL go from left to right. Some players, when they go from left to right, they don't play good at right. Some players, when they go from right to left, they don't play good at left. They're sort of like in the middle. And that's where all politics should be. Kolton Miller, the veteran left tackle, is in his final season. Will he be a holdout? That's right, he's in his final season. Will he get another extension? Another contract offer? I don't know. He's been one of the best for the Raiders over the previous seasons. And last year they didn't give him a contract extension. They let him play it out when many people thought he was deserving of an extension, because you want to get the players an extension early so you save some money for the future, because left tackle positions can become expensive. But what did the Raiders do? They drafted Thayer Mumford and players to possibly replace Kolton Miller. So he's in his final year, knowing that they drafted players to replace him. They also drafted some players this year as well at that same position. I don't know if he's going to be a holdout, try to get some money. If he wants to be on the Raiders any further, I mean, all he knows is losing. I wish we were, all I can do is win, win, win no matter what. Got money on my mind, I'm about to pick it up. Mikey Raiders in the building, Raider Nation stand up. And I feel ya. But no, I don't know what's going to happen with Kolton Miller. I am not in their heads. All Mikey Raider does is speculate and spit when I talk. But Kolton Miller is an interesting theory or something going into camp. Will he play out his final year? Hopefully have the best year of his career, then make a lot of money in free agency, maybe with the Raiders, maybe with another team. I do not know. But that is one, I'm not going to call it a battle, but that is one situation to look at. Then we got the drafted rookie at tackle, the Charles Grant that I was mentioning. Then we drafted DJ Glades, who played right tackle at current times and has played in college left tackle. So we got a lot of tackles that might compete with Kolton Miller. Like I said, it's an interesting thing to think about. We got Parker Clements, Gottlieb, a Wakanda Forever person. That sounded really bad, but hey, I can't pronounce the name. Sorry. I love Wakanda. I wish I could live in Wakanda. I want to play around with all the technology. They got some amazing dances. They got some amazing food. Mikey Raider is a Wakanda fan. So we got Gottlieb, a Wakanda Forever person with a name, at 6'4". Oh, you're racist, Mikey Raider. Shut up! It's comedy. They make fun of white people constantly. It's all good. Stop letting them separate us. We can all make fun of our last names. We can all make fun of our situations. I didn't mention anything about skin color. I just talked about Wakanda. Because they made that movie to separate white from black. I didn't do it! Mikey Raider didn't separate it. They did it. They called it Black Panther. They called it BLM. They did it. I didn't do it. They separated instead of uniting. You know? You don't have to call the movie Black Panther. You can call it Amazing Panther. You know? But no! They want to separate race all the time. But hey, it was a beautiful movie, and we'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed my comedy. There's no hate in my bones. I try to love. Because hating is easy. Loving is hard. All right? And that's it. So how many players at the tackle position do we have vying for 2 spots? Of course, some of them are versatile. They can play guard. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tackle players on the roster going into this season. Now, let's look at the O-line. Maybe he could play everywhere. We got Laki Tasi, a Samoan. There should be a Samoan Panther movie, now that we're talking about it. Samoans are awesome too. Shit. Love them all. Laki Tashi, offensive lineman, 6'6". Now, let's go at the guards. Caleb Rogers, wasn't he listed as tackle as well? Did they do that purposefully? Oh, no, that was Charles Grant. That was Charles Grant. My apologies. We're doing this in real time, people. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Got Caleb Rogers, Dylan Parham, Jordan Meredith, and Alex Kappa at guard. Now, we're only going into 1, 2, 3, 4 guards. And we need 2 guards, and we only have 4. We need 2 tackles, and we're going in with like 7. That shows you where the priority is for the Raiders. The tackle position at this moment. Because, let's be honest, most tackles, they can switch over to guard very easily. So it's not that much of a need. Let's just be honest. I'm not a football expert, but I'm an expert in making love. So there's our guard position. And are there any other offensive linemen that are listed on here? Okay, we got the center and the guard, Jackson Powers Johnson. So we're going into the season with we got Jackson Powers, we got another center. Sorry about that. Will Putnam and Jared Hufford. Don't huff Whippich, Jared Hufford. We got 3 centers. We got 1 offensive lineman that was listed. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Man, we got like 16 players going for 5 spots. But let's be honest, they typically keep 10 linemen, maybe 11 or 12 at most on a roster on both sides of the ball, whether it be offense or defense for the big boys. So we got like 15, 16, if I did my math correctly, vying for probably 10 or 11 spots. So they need versatile players. All right, let's see who the Raiders' predictions for this season are coming from the AI. Let's see where the Raiders are ranked going into this season with the offensive line we just spoke about. The Raiders' offensive line is ranked 22nd in the NFL by Sharp Analysis Football. This ranking places them in the lower half of the league, signaling potential areas for improvement. You think? According to Albany Herald, of the Miami Herald, Albany Herald, I'm just kidding. However, there were some positive signs toward the end of the previous season, according to Albany Herald. Well, there you go, Albany Herald, getting aboard the Raiders train. Choo-choo, motherfucker. The Raiders also added, also added to their offensive line in the offseason, acquiring Alex Kappa, no cap, in the free agency, and drafting Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant in the 2025 draft. So, they believe we are ranked going 22nd into this season. I'm going to be honest with you all. I think we're better than that, especially with the run game that's going to happen. Where will we finish? I'll predict it now. We will finish 12th on the offensive line this season with our run game. Maybe even bigger than that, depending on how it goes. Watch my running backs video for more info. Now, let's quickly look at the Raiders rookies and their analysis that they were drafted at. So we got Caleb Rogers, a guard out of Texas Tech in round 3. My take, the Raiders general manager John Spytek said he would have felt bad if he walked away from his first draft in Las Vegas without a couple of linemen. That's right, we doubled down at every position of need this year. We are going young with potential and upside. The Raiders addressed that position with back-to-back picks to close out the 3rd round. Rogers started in 55 games for the Red Raiders. He's a Raider already. Let's go. Let's go. Playing primarily at offensive tackle, Carroll said Friday that he expects Rogers to play at guard in the NFL. All right, so he's going to play at guard, going to keep his position, not going to transfer unless needed currently. Ties to the team to now, Rogers playing alongside Raiders defensive end Tyree Wilson. What's going to happen with Tyree? Watch that on my defensive line video coming up. For 3 seasons at Texas Tech after Rogers was drafted by Las Vegas. He said Wilson was the first player to call him after his conversation with Pete Carroll to congratulate him. And Tyree Wilson finally has somebody he knows on the Raiders and that he could probably beat at camp in practice. Oh, we got Caleb Rogers. I know all his weaknesses. I'm going to look fucking good at camp. Tyree Wilson, because he's probably going to sit alongside Caleb Rogers and he knows he can beat him. So either Caleb Rogers is going to make Tyree look as bad as he is, or Tyree Wilson is going to be making Caleb look bad, and Tyree Wilson is going to get press and propaganda that he's actually a good first-round player for the Raiders. How's that for Mikey Raider speculation in every fucking video? Then with the next pick in round 3, number 98, what's up, Max Crosby? I heard that joke that Shane Gillis made about you at the ESPYs. He said, we got Max Crosby in the building, 98. What's up, Max Crosby? How you doing? And then he said, happy Juneteenth Max Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful Juneteenth, Max Crosby. That was a racist joke by Shane Gillis, and this episode has a ton of racist jokes, apparently. But I don't know that joke. I don't know what he meant. Is it because Max Crosby is considered a brother to the brothers? Why did they say Happy Juneteenth? I don't know. Somebody explained that Shane Gillis Espy's joke to me that was in his monologue. Somebody explained it to me. I don't get it. I really don't. Is it because Max Crosby got a new contract with a lot of money? Or he's like a brother? Was he calling him a wigger? I don't know, man. Y'all let me know. Explain that joke to me. I'd appreciate it. Then we got Caleb Rogers coming in, as we spoke about at number 98. I'm sorry. Then at the next pick, we got Charles Grant. That sounds like a president, y'all. Charles Grant, the Raiders president of the United Corporations of America, out of Houston at offensive tackle. All right, let's read that information. My take, with Kolton Miller's, there it is, contract situation up in the air, it was expected that the Raiders will draft an offensive tackle at some point. Grant will have a chance to compete at right tackle with the potential of playing left tackle down the road. There it is. Kolton Miller, what's up? Is this a pick for depth or does it fill a hole? Just like Caleb Rogers, Charles Grant will add depth to the Raiders' offensive line. Coming from a FCS school, there will be a learning curve for Grant, but Spytech believes the 6'5" lineman is a perfect fit for the Raiders' scheme, meaning the run game under Chip Kelly. So there it is. Theirs will be the future battles for the Raiders, the offensive tackle position, the left tackle, the right tackle, from these young players that the Raiders got on their roster. Now, let's quickly look at where the Raiders rank up according to the experts on ESPN in terms of the depth chart for those positions. They got Kolton Miller as the starter, Dylan Parham as the guard, Jackson Powers Johnson, free agent Alex Kappa, and impressive rookie last year, DJ Glaze. They don't have Thayer Mumford at right tackle, even though they went back and forth last year before injuries and stuff. So there it is. Charles Grant is right next to Kolton Miller, as spoke about in that article we just read. Dylan Parham's got Jordan Meredith. Will Putnam is the backup center. We all love Jackson Powers Johnson, don't we? We love that dude. That guy is a Raider through and through. He's fun to be around. Yeah, I like Jackson Powers Johnson. I don't know how talented he actually is at center, but I expect more from him this year. I'll just say that. So there it is. You guys let me know your starting lineup for the Raiders. And I'm going to predict mine in just a second. I think we got enough players to where the Raiders won't need to go out and get a free agent. But let's just quickly look at next year, the offensive linemen that are no longer under contract. We got, like we spoke about, Kolton Miller. Next year, he's going to be a free agent. Then on the offensive line, let's see if there's any other players, because we went with a lot of young draft picks at so many positions this year. Wide receiver, running back, we are building for the future. Apparently, Dalton Wagner, sounds like a movie star from the 60s or 70s. Dalton Wagner stars in Home on the Range. We got Dalton Wagner as a free agent next year. Then the Wakanda Gottlieb is a free agent. But man, we got a lot of young offensive linemen. And the Raiders are going cheap. Like I said, they're trying to find talent under Pete Carroll's first 3 years to build the foundation correctly. And this proves they're not willing to pay veteran free agents a lot of money or have too many superstar players at any given position for the Raiders. That is just being told by all the stats and stuff we're talking about. So, again, we need a lot of those young players to win themselves a starting job this year. Because Kolton Miller is probably gone next year officially and won't be re-signed by the Raiders. And then they're going to replace him with the players they drafted and stuff like that. That gets a little bit scary when you're trying to build an offensive line to have the best offensive lineman at that moment no longer be a part of your team. But that means somebody's going to have to step up from the DJ Glazes, the Jackson Powers-Johnson in a better second year. And I think we're okay at the offensive line. Again, I really expect a lot from them this year, and I see us just getting better with the young players. At the wide receiver position, I had a little bit different takes when it comes to that. Watch my wide receiver video. But the running back position and the offensive line, I fucking love our room. I love our room, and we can go only up from here. Now, again, we do this at every episode. We look at possible free agents on the offensive line that are available. There's too many categories for me to go over each one. But in case we needed one, if they wanted to spend money or get a veteran, just for shits and giggles, these are the players that are available at different positions. Cam Robinson is a name that stands out, a young draft pick from a few years back. They got Alex Cap. Oh, I'm sorry. These are not the available ones. These are the signed ones. Duh. There it is. We got Brandon Scherf, Shaq Mason, Tyrone Smith, 34 years of age, 33, George Fant, Will Hernandez, Feliciano, bring him back. Bring Feliciano back to the Raiders for a year or two. He can play center as well if need be. He's a veteran. There it is. But I don't foresee us doing that. We got so many young players that they're going to call from our ranks if anything happens to any player. So we got enough depth there to not worry about the free agent offensive lineman or whatever the case may be. And that's my perspective. If I have to grade our offensive line going into this season, we are definitely a C+. Even though we're ranked 22nd going into this season, I can see the future is bright with this offensive line. Now, again, they all have to pan out, and they all have to excel in these years. But based off of what we saw last year with certain players like DJ Glaze, Jackson Powers-Johnson, and maybe these young tackles that we drafted, we might have a really decent average run offensive line next year with really young players on the cheap, with one of the best running attacks in the NFL. And all these young players on the offensive line, the running backs, they're going to know each other's culture, company. They're going to have barbecues. It's going to be a good time. Basically, the young Raiders. Let's call it the young Raiders. Not the young Dryas like in the history of the world, but the young frickin' Raiders. Now, here it is, that time before we close out the offensive camp battles that we just spoke about. The only camp battles that are possibly happening is at left tackle for the next season with Kolton Miller. Maybe it's at right tackle, but I think DJ Glaze has got it locked up. And now let's look at the offensive starting lineup as predicted by me. Nobody else, you may not agree, but this is my starting lineup of the offensive line and more for the Raiders. There it is. 2025 starting offensive lineup predictions. At left tackle, I have Miller, Kolton. I have Meredith, Jordan. Why did I put Jordan Meredith there? I don't know. I felt like he was a veteran, and the young players might struggle in their first year, but we got Jordan Meredith there that played a little bit for teams and stuff like that. So I technically got Meredith, but it could be anybody. Could be anybody else. As the Raiders, as we spoke about, they got their lineup. Let me look at it again just to remind myself. the Raiders lineup. They got, at left guard, they got Parham. I heard some struggles with Parham at left guard. So I'm predicting Jordan Meredith might win. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going with it. I'm going with it. Because I just remember hearing a lot of bad things about Dylan Parham. Oh, he struggled in this game or that game. And Jordan Meredith, he's like a veteran player. And I don't know. I just felt like he's going to do something big. I believe he's a veteran player. He's 6'2", out of Kentucky. Yeah, that's reminding me why I put him on the Raiders as the starting lineup. But it'll be them back and forth. Let's be honest. It'll be them back and forth, battling out. So that's the training camp battle. Then we got Jackson Powers Johnson at the center position. I think he's got that locked up. Then we got Alex Kappa at right guard. I think he's got that locked up. The free agent acquisition. And then we got DJ Glaze at right tackle. I think he's got that locked up. But I do believe Thayer Mumford and DJ Glaze are going to be the competition. So, in my opinion, the truest camp competition to watch is Jordan Meredith and Dylan Parham at left guard and or right guard, depending on if they're versatile or not. And then DJ Glaze and Thayer Mumford at right tackle. I can see all of those four players that I just mentioned going back and forth. Now, to round out the entire offensive predictions, and if you watched my running back, wide receivers episode, my quarterback episode, you already knew this already. But we got Trey Tucker, Jack Besh, Jacoby Myers, Ashton Genty as the running back, and Brock Bowers as the number one. Of course, if they do 2 tight end sets, there'll be other tight ends. But that's the basics of the starting lineup with 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back from my predictions. Those are all the number ones. Let's see if I'm right. Grade me. Let me know what you think. I'd like to know what battles I got wrong, what starting lineup I got wrong, who will win what. I respect your opinion and I appreciate you. But that's my offensive lineup predictions for week 1 this season, barring injuries, of course. Now, once again, if you feel like playing fantasy football against me in the Raider Central League, we will have some spots available starting August 10th. Please hit me up in social media, direct messaging, or through email as down below, and let me know you want to play in the Raider Central Fantasy Football League. For a prize pool in total of $180, but like in merchandise and swag from my personal collection, and maybe a gift card to my store where I sell some things Raider oriented as well. But basically, the $25 dues payment gets you in the league, and most of the money is to support me as a video creator and as a channel maker and as a content creator, and to help me to live a better life by supporting me in these ways. So if that fits up your alley to play against me, to try to win a championship against me, and you want to play in the Raider Central Fantasy Football League, hit me up on social media, let me know, get on the waiting list, and then some spots will be opening up around August 10th, and the higher you are in the waiting list through your email or your social media contacts to me, I will hit you up, send you the link, you'll pay the dues, I'll send you the link, then you'll be a part of the team. We do it on NFL.com fantasy football because this is our 8th year, and we got some quality players, legacy players that have been in the league for almost all those years. So, if you'd like to hang out and play against me and do some trash talking and some fun stuff, and we're going to have the draft live here on this channel where you can be on video and we're going to draft our players, hit me up. There will be spots available starting August 10th, but get on the waiting list. All right, that's it for now. Please stay tuned for my defensive camp battle videos that might already be available to members only at the moment. And we're going to talk about the camp battles at the defensive position in our upcoming videos before we officially hit training camp on July 22nd. Also, be on the lookout for our Mondays with Mikey and Murph training camp special midway through training camp. And that being said, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, stay Raider. And remember, I love you. I'll see you on the next one. Raiders!
I bleed silver and black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a Raider for life. 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 Touchdown!